Hi everybody, this is Jessica Calloway with Healthy by Choice. I am posting this blog tonight basically to answer a few questions that were submitted via Facebook or by email or by Twitter or on the website. The very first question I got was, why did you choose health coaching? And that was from Amanda. Amanda, basically I chose health coaching because my whole life growing up, my parents had different types of illnesses and diseases, and I grew up basically hearing a lot of medical terminology. I was diagnosed with some heart conditions in the past few years, and I took a lot of prescription medication for it and learned that it might not always be necessary to take prescription medication if it's alright with your doctor. If I consulted with my doctor and found homeopathic ways to deal with the heart condition that I have, also getting rid of a lot of stress in my life. I wanted to be a personal trainer, life coach, stuff like that when I was in high school. I also wanted to be a doctor, but a lot of things changed once I went to college. My second question I got was from Logan on Facebook, and it said food tips for hypoglycemics. Hypoglycemia is actually a very interesting thing to deal with because everybody actually is a little bit different. My mother actually was just diagnosed at the age of 40 with hypoglycemia, and she is now learning how to deal with it effectively. With hypoglycemia, there's foods you need to avoid in order to keep your blood sugar where it should be. The first ones would be refined sugar products, juices, highly processed foods such as white bread, pastries, coffee, milk chocolate, caffeine you should avoid, and alcohol you should avoid if possible. A lot of foods that you should eat are high protein meals such as turkey, chicken, fish, cottage cheese, organic milk, Greek yogurt, nuts, seeds, beans, legumes. I would advise for you to eat 3 balanced meals a day and to have 2 wholesome snacks, so basically eat 5 times a day. I would keep honey on hand. For my mother, when her blood sugar went really low one time, I gave her 2 teaspoons of honey in a 8-ounce glass of water and stirred it up really good. That helped her blood sugar get back where it needed to be, and it was actually something very easy to drink down, and it wasn't bad for her. It's best to just really plan out your meals. They say to stay away from certain fruits and vegetables that are high in starch. I would suggest having 1 banana a day, even though that's one of the foods that they say you might want to stay away from. Personally, if you want to eat oatmeal a few times a week, or have, apples, bananas, grapefruits, oranges, just keep as many fruits and vegetables on hand as possible. My next question was from Mike, and he asked about chronic fatigue syndrome. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome myself when I was in 10th grade. And it was kind of like, I didn't really understand it, but it made sense to me when my doctors explained that this was why I was so tired all of the time and was achy and, had things like that going on. Right now there are no cures for chronic fatigue syndrome. Basically, it's a virus that goes rampant in your body from, extreme exhaustion, S10-bar. It's like people who work really long hours tend to get it. But actually, chronic fatigue syndrome can happen to anybody. I would suggest that you have regular chiropractic care. Keeping your spine aligned will make a lot of a difference in your life for many other reasons besides just chronic fatigue syndrome. Keep up with your vitamins. Keep up with your vitamin B complex, your zinc, your magnesium, your vitamin C. And this goes for people who, don't want to get chronic fatigue syndrome. Basically, if you just want to avoid it. Also, do your best to go out, take walks, do some things light exercise, light activity, and make sure you do your best to get a proper amount of sleep a night, which is about 8 to 9 hours. My fourth question was from Patricia, and she said, how much water should I drink a day? Okay, water consumption is a very big deal for your body. Your body is made up of mostly water, so you have to replenish that water. Now, rule of thumb, basically, they say is to have 8-ounce glasses of water per day, which then equals out to be 64 ounces of water a day. I have been told that if you have, you take your weight, you divide it by 2. So say I weigh 150, I divide that by 2, that's 75. I should have 75 ounces of water per day. What I learned in school is that it is best to drink as much water as needed until your urine is clear. Now, for people who don't drink water very often, I would stick to a rule of thumb and say, 68 to 80 ounces of water per day. If you find that you're drinking a lot of water and your urine is still not clear, that's something you're going to want to see your doctor about. There could be other reasons, like your kidneys could be overfunctioning, underfunctioning. One thing you have to be careful with is to not drink too much water, because you can get like a water intoxication, which you can, lose balance with your electrolytes and possibly die. So be very careful with that. And I had another post on my Facebook from my sister-in-law, Jenny, and I would like to say to Jenny, burpees really don't like you either, so, just keep going with it. You'll get strong, you'll do good. And for everybody else, if you have any other questions, things that you don't really understand, I am available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Shoot me an email, write something on the Facebook page or the blog, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. All right, thanks everybody. Have a blessed day.